Alright, welcome to the speed build for the Death Star trench run. So before I even start this, I gotta say, I would not have been building this set unless I got it for sale, and I just don't really think this set was worth it until it was only $35. So with that in mind, I will give my thoughts and review based on that price. So just starting it out with that in mind. With that, let's get to the speed build and then my thoughts / review on the Death Star trench run. Here we go. Alright, so it is done, the trench run. So just real quick, of course, these are the extra pieces, and I'm really glad to have that extra little R2-D2 printed piece. I think that's fantastic, and there's just a plethora of little pieces here, and I do want to say this specific lightsaber is technically supposed to be in there. I got two of them for some reason, and I decided to put it right there. So yeah, with that, let's get into the actual thoughts I have on this. And to be fair, I love the greebling of this set. I think the just usage of different pieces is fantastic. You got just this little strip right here was the most interesting to me, with like a minifigure head, a little ball, some interesting binoculars. Yeah, there's just some interesting stuff going on in here, and I love that. But at the same time, I don't think I can justify this set at its default price. And there's really only 4 printed pieces, these two, the R2-D2, and then I guess technically there's multiple of the same little windshield pieces for the TIE fighters, but still, even with just 4 printed pieces, I don't think that this set justifies its own price, because it's just so small. Even though it has so many different little pieces and stuff, it's just so compact and not that amazing or anything. And while I don't think I can play with this, I guess it's displayable, but at the same time, you can't really look at this set from the side and be like, oh, that's really, really cool. And there's only really one way you can display this, and that's this way. You really have to look at this from the front to really appreciate it, and that's kind of disappointing to me. But I think overall it does display well. There's no denying that, and there is a lot to look at and a lot of interesting intricacies to get your eyes around and stuff, especially in real life. There's just, you can really just get your head in there and, oh, that's a cool little piece they use for that. But then there's not much more than that. You don't get anything else but looking at it and maybe getting an extra little TIE fighter and A-Wing or whatever. But yeah, in my opinion, this is not a worthwhile set getting unless you can get it on a discount. In that case, it is definitely fun to build, and it is definitely fun to look at and just see all the fun little greebling and everything. But yeah, overall, this set just doesn't really do it for me. I think it's just got too many small pieces and way too high of a default price to justify its own existence. And yeah, I think that kind of goes for most of the diorama sets that they tried to do. And yeah, if you can get this for a discount, I highly recommend going out and doing that. Otherwise, unless you're a huge Star Wars fan, this might be one to pass up. With that, I am sure you know how the buttons work down there by now, so do click them as you please. Mr. HiYodaPanda, out.